Welcome back, this RB Sensei. To my die-hard fans, make sure you watch at least until 9 minutes because watch time is the most important factor to this channel growing and being successful. To new watchers, if you like this video at any point, like and comment. Be sure to follow me on Rumble, Discord, or Twitter, links below, because who knows how long they're going to let me stay on the tube. Now let's get into this ridiculous nonsense.
This should be interesting.
This says me on my way to see the boy who has told me multiple times he doesn't want a relationship.
You're a whore.
But let me guess, when it's all said and done, and he played you just one too many times, or he didn't call back one too many times, and you're telling your friends what went wrong, you're going to tell them that he gaslighted you, you're going to tell them that he manipulated you. But the truth is, with 90% of these women in these situations, they knew from the jump he didn't want a relationship. He made it clear. I don't think most of these guys are lying. Some of them are. You know what I mean? But even if they did lie the first 2 weeks, after he hit a few times, then he started telling the truth, and they still stuck around for another 3 years after that.
You know, sometimes we get so wrapped up in how a problem bothers us, we don't see what the problem really is.
Don't let these women get you to believe that they didn't know better. You know, the bad boy that, kept effing them over for years. Like, they knew who he was at an early point in their interactions. She loved every second of it. And even if we give her some leeway and say, okay, when she was 18, 19, she was young. But no, they do it for another 10 years. There is no excuse for it.
You should break up with your boyfriend and come to here with me. I feel like it's more fun than staying with that loser. Okay, bye!
Oh my God, are you fucking 16? Are you fucking 14? Think. Is she fucking 15 years old? But mentally, yes, she is. Mentally, yeah. Most women's brains don't develop too far past 20 at max. I'm talking like, and this is doctorate level woman.
They're big kids. They're huge children. But no, these women shouldn't break up with their boyfriends. You're just mad because you're single and you're trying to sabotage other women's lives. And that's what the sisterhood does every time. Do you think all this traveling really makes women feel fulfilled? That's a tongue twister. Say that 8 times fast. But do you really think they feel complete just because they're going on trips? Or is it something to just distract themselves from how pathetic their lives really are, especially their romantic life? And I'm pretty sure this chick was on Married at First Sight. Don't ask me how I know.
Dudes will say anything in front of an attractive girl.
Based on the way that you're warming up, do you feel that you're ready for this competition?
I'm always ready. I don't need to warm up. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. Thank you.
You feel me? Not on.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Maybe it's just in a guy's nature to want to impress an attractive woman. You know, when you're young, you grow out of it. You definitely grow out of it. Or maybe most don't. Hopefully everybody who watches my channel will grow out of it, if they haven't already.
You said something gay, so you gotta say no homo, or else you a homo.
What did I say gay?
But you're probably wondering what is going on right now and why is Kayla interviewing people? Well, let me explain real quick. This is sports journalist and NBA reporter Malika Andrews. It's believed that she has an effect on the players that she interviews because of, well, her good looks. Here's a perfect example. Listen to what John Morant says to Malika here.
No one in the West.
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
Like, see what I mean?
Yes, I'm a simp.
So, I wanted to test this theory. So, I set up a private basketball run where I invited some hoopers to come play.
But see, they coming off like shy and like giddy. Women do not like or respect you coming off all shy, giddy, and giggling and shit. You got to act like you've been in the end zone before. You got to act like you've been in front of a pretty woman before and it ain't shit to you. I promise the dudes who are, hitting her with the sprinkler system, they really couldn't care less if she called back or not. Or, if they see her again. Those are the guys she's chasing. Women like this love to chase the guys who don't give a fuck about them. Not guys who giggling and smiling all the time when they talking to her. And always making direct eye contact.
You guys don't want it this summer. I swear to God, I'm outside. I'm out the fuck side. If there's a side, I'm out of it. And I'm out of it.
Ma'am, did you throw up gang signs? And the bigger the hoops, the bigger the hole. Those aren't the biggest hoops I've seen, but if you mix the hoops with the fake lips with the gang signs, yeah, she's a huge 304, I'm sure.
Bars.
Okay, you're outside, whatever the fuck that means. Did you make this TikTok to get back at an ex? because I'm sure he don't give a damn that you're outside. He's glad you're outside and not inside his house. He kicked you back to the streets, and now you're trying to make him jealous, but it's not going to work.
Absolutely not.
And you getting plowed by some guys after the club isn't going to fill the hole in your heart. But thanks for letting us know you're back outside.
Sometimes I forget that I'm in my 20s. So when a man that's like 30 hits on me, I'm like, ew, pervert. And I forget it's age appropriate.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
They always find a way to demonize a man. Yeah, ma'am, you're in your 20s. Why aren't you snatched up by now? You're cute enough to have somebody. Or are you making TikToks about random 30-year-old guys hitting on you while you're walking down the street? And I love how women call guys perverts, but so many of them walk out half naked, skin tight, yoga pants where you can see the imprint of their butt cheeks. Who's the real pervert? We're the pervert for looking, but they're not the pervert for exposing their bodies. I can't make sense of it, y'all.
That makes no fucking sense.
I'm living my nightmare. It is a monster. It's in my head.
Do you want access to 2 to 3 exclusive live streams a week that won't be available to my regular subscribers?
Not really, no.
Are you tired of listening to these stupid ads?
Yes.
Do you want access to over 70 exclusive unseen episodes?
No? No need.
Do you want to see my videos at least one day early and be a complete alpha Chad? Or a G'd up Tyrone?
What kind of shit is that?
Then I got news for you, champ. For $5 a month via Subscribestar or Patreon, you can get all that. And if you want the convenience of staying on YouTube, you can join the YouTube membership for $10 a month.
Man, get the fuck out of here, nigga!
I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but
please, for the love of God, do not.
when guys like other girls' Instagram posts, I don't even think that it's like just disrespectful. I simply think it's embarrassing because I know how girls work. Just me thinking like, if you are liking a girl's post and it's known that you have a girlfriend, I am just picturing in my head this girl being like, oh my gosh, he's in my likes and he has a girlfriend. Like, there must be something going on in their relationship. Like,
okay, if a woman is putting that much thought into some guy who liked her photo, she already was digging on him. She already was stalking him. You know what I mean? These women don't give a damn about 99.99% of the dudes who are in their likes and comments. So if she putting this much thought into it, yes, she cares and she's flattered. And she wants him to leave his girlfriend.
there must be something wrong, or like he must be interested in me, or something like that. Like, that's literally how girls think, I swear. So that's why I think it's just simply embarrassing if you have a girlfriend and you're liking like other girls' half-naked pictures on Instagram. I'm not saying like normal pictures, like cute little family pics. I'm talking like scandy pics on Instagram that you are always double tapping on.
Okay, are you mad because this happened to you? Your boyfriend was double tapping on scandy pics? And can we shame the women for taking the scandy pics too? Can we call that pathetic and embarrassing?
What? Like, you could give me 24 hours notice to answer that question?
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Just my opinion.
I knew my husband was the one within 2 hours of meeting him. And it wasn't like a love at first sight situation, although he is incredibly handsome. It was like, after just talking to him, the authenticity I felt and the way he was listening to me and the way he looked at me, even though we were strangers, it was familiarity.
I know, but did you peep that? Did you catch that? Their bare minimum is incredibly handsome, even when they're not incredibly beautiful. We live in a time now where sixes have a bare minimum of a man being incredibly handsome. But he also got to check all the other boxes too. But to even get her attention, to even get a confirmed date, you got to start off incredibly handsome.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man.
I just looked at him like, damn, it's gonna be you, isn't it?
I'm so picky. I have like the highest standards for anybody I get involved with.
Men, listen to that. It is okay to have high standards. It's okay to admit that you do not want the OnlyFans model that has been sleeping around with like 50 plus guys, because that really is not normal. So go get wifed up. that's the normal thing.
Yeah, men should have high standards outside of what she looks like. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have standards based on what she look like, but it will serve you more to have high standards when it comes to how she act, how she talk, what type of family she came from, things like that. Because you're going to get tired of looking at that bitch after you F a few times. Trust me. So the hype of that is going to wear off real quick. But yeah, fellas, raise your standards.
Okay. If a man who is willing to settle, let's say you're not that old, but you're 26, and you say that anyone over 25 is like almost damaged goods or getting worse and worse.
No,
it's less valuable. It's less valuable.
Correct. Yes, I would say I was more valuable 5 years ago. Yes, in terms of the dating market. Yes.
So do you think that how can somebody who's older and not a virgin and less valuable, how can they get in a relationship with a man and not think they're a loser? Because if you're a low-value woman, then in a sense, you'd be judging the guy who's quote unquote settling for you because he couldn't get a higher value woman. So in a sense, a guy that you would settle for would be a loser by your own metrics. Low value.
Well, what are men supposed to do? 95% of women aren't virgins on their wedding days. You could be a multimillionaire and not get a virgin.
How do you?
But I think that's why you see more men walking away from relationships.
No. How do you enter a relationship and not think that he's a loser because he's low value?
But I don't really know how to answer that question.
Oh, did he stump Pearl? Did he stump her? I mean, I don't know. Or was it just a bad question? I don't know. So she's admitting she's lower value on the dating market. So a guy that would settle for her, by her standards, would be kind of a loser because he couldn't do better than a low value woman. Well, no, I don't think it would make him a loser. I mean, you got to get what you can get as a guy or just not date. I mean, I don't know if Pearl is a good woman. I don't think she would be a good woman in a relationship just by the way she talks. It's kind of masculine, you know?
But it is interesting, right? Because in a sense, only a low-value man, and I'm sorry, I'm only framing this in your worldview. Let's say a medium-value man would decide to settle on somebody like you, who's a little bit older, not as fertile. You are not a virgin, and also I'll tell you something else. You like being in the foreground, which is not good for traditional marriages.
Facts. She does like to be, the center of attention. That's why I don't think she would make a good traditional wife, even though she was going to start a wife school or did start a wife school. I mean, it's just a YouTube personality, but yeah. The philosophy that she's spitting doesn't match who she is and the way she's living. Does that make her a fraud, a grifter, a charlatan, whatever you call it?
I mean, he's looking for someone who wants to build a home. You don't know how to cook.
Yeah,
either.
I don't expect to be with like a high value guy. I think that's silly.
Okay. What's your
expectation? When I think of high value, I think of like top 5% of men.
So what value do you think you'll be settling on in your own personal life?
What value will I be settling on in my personal?
What man do you think is reasonable for you to pursue?
I think that's a bit of a inappropriate question.
Come on, Pearl. You ask people inappropriate questions all the time. You gotta just face the heat. You didn't think it through this much, did you, Pearl?
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
You shouldn't say that about a woman. Why can't you say women are wrong when they're wrong?
You want to be making moves on the street, have no attachments, allow nothing to be in your life that you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat.
Okay, first of all, I didn't miss the red flags. I looked at them and thought, damn, that's sexy. And that's my problem.